single day I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day I'm gonna make.
Hello. Hi everyone, Dr. Aura Tovar here with ChiroMission. I'm the Vice President of ChiroMission, and I'm bringing you another awesome guest today here on TikTok. I have the pleasure of having, oh shoot, let's do this. Okay, now connection available. Oh wow. Okay, so I'm waiting for my guest, speaker today for my TikTok or ChiroMission to come on. When he is watching, I will invite him. This is an amazing person that has come on I don't know how many of our trips now, and he has his own nonprofit for Africa, and he's been helping thousands of people, as well as his Gear for Goals nonprofit, in which he always comes to our trips and he brings sports equipment with him to help other people that don't have this kind of a sports equipment and are able to change their lives for the better, because this island, especially Puerto Plata, where we go on our mission trips, the people there, that is one of the best ways to get out if you're good at a sport, especially baseball. So he is amazing on that, and I'm waiting for him to come on so I can invite him. Can you see me? Technology will get to all of us. I'm here live, waiting for you. Let's see if he can see us. Let's see if we can go to the ChiroMission page and if we're there. I don't see you. Okay. Let's go. Somebody's watching. Let me see if I am live. I should be live. The wonders of technology. Oh yes, I am live. So you have to go to the ChiroMission page. Go to ChiroMission page. Let's see if I can invite. I can invite anybody here. One of these days, this is going to get easier. ChiroMission page. Yeah, I'm not, no, on the ChiroMission page, not on my personal. Oh, one of these days, this should get easier. Okay, let's see if I can, if I see him. Nothing on the ChiroMission page, huh? I am live there now. As I see it. Hello. See? I see it. Oh, Warren, you're there finally. Okay. So let's add. Yes, I'm adding you. Okay. It's adding. I'm adding you. It's still adding. ChiroMission. The benefits of technology. Now we get to see each other. I get to see him live, which I haven't seen him since our last mission trip last September. And he still says he's adding. Oh, we did it. Every single time I'm able to do this, I feel like I won the lottery.
I know.
Oh my
I know.
God, it's just like, oh, one of these days, this is going to get easier. Every single time I do a live, it looks like me. I'm a crazy talking head by myself. Hi, Jeffrey. Miss you. And you have to laugh about my bloopers, Jeffrey. I'm gonna get this thing one day. One day. Anyhow, thank you, Warren, for the short notice and for coming on. I know you are one of our best ChiroMission veterans. How many times have you have been on our trips?
I've been on 6 or 7 ChiroMission trips.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so for the people that don't know you as well as I do, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about why you keep coming back on mission trips, a little bit about your nonprofits?
I keep coming back to ChiroMission trips because of the basic premise of what chiropractic is. It's the art of healing by hand. And I believe that as chiropractors, it begins with what we do with our hands, with the spine, but then there's the extension beyond that of the other things that we're capable of doing as healers. And so I keep coming back to ChiroMission trips because I feel as though ChiroMission does one of the best jobs of really interfacing with the needs of people in the locations that they go. And the trips are so well organized. And I feel like we are really having an impact on making some positive changes, some sustainable changes. And of course, we can always work on making more sustainable changes. But, you know, I'm there because I'm in partnership with you and with whoever is doing good work around the world.
Thank you, thank you. Wow, those are awesome words, and we value what you bring. We value this partnership. We value the ideas that you have brought to us, so we can serve better the people of the Dominican Republic with Gear for Goals. I mean, this is just amazing, and we have been doing it for several years. And who knows how many lives we have impacted, how many lives of children we have impacted for years to come, right? So it is, I applaud you for being consistent and for being so focused on your helping mindset. I know you wrote a book as well, and you do mission trips to Africa, so you know the needs very, very, very well. What would you say are the reasons why people think so much about going on a mission trip, or what do you think are the misconceptions people have about going on a mission trip?
Well, I think, you know, the idea is a mission trip is something that we need to take periodically to get a check-in with a reality of what the rest of the world is like. It's easy to get very stuck in our offices and what we're doing and think that this is where it begins and ends. The problems begin and end right in my office and in my community. And it's a great reality check to see that most of the world has problems significantly larger. And when I step outside of myself and I serve another person, it gives me a good reality check to recognize how blessed I am, how grateful I am for what I have. And I think more importantly is it gives chiropractors an opportunity to step outside of maybe some of the criticisms that take place in chiropractic in the States, where people openly embrace us and love what we do. And so maybe someone might feel a little beat up by the system here. Well, there's people with open arms ready to welcome you and build you back up again, to recognize that you're valued and needed and wanted in the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Africa, wherever it is. And so I honestly believe that, you know, you could take a group of chiropractors, you and me, Auda, and a couple other chiropractors, and we could go to any community in the world. We could go to Guatemala, and we could set up shop and begin to help people heal, use our other skills and talents, And literally, we could change the economic future of that village for decades with what we do. And no other healer can do what we do.
The power of one
With
adjustment, right? It's just so
yeah,
beautiful. Is
yeah,
we take it, sometimes we forget, that's what I say, that the language of chiropractic could be so simple and is so beautiful, and how it always works when you get yourself out of the way and indeed use just these two hands and turn the power on, remove the interference so that innate can flow. And yeah, who knows what kind of a difference we're making just on the just on being 20 minutes on a village and adjusting the village, right? Who knows how many lives we're impacting? But that's the beauty of chiropractic. And I think the beauty of mission trips, and indeed the perspective that it gives you. So when you come back home to your own mission, because we all have missions back home, right?
hmm
You come back just recharged, renewed, and will never complain about the same things ever again.
right. Yeah, well, we shouldn't be complaining about them. And when we do start complaining, it's time to hop on a plane and go somewhere else and serve some other people. You know, I always wake up every day and I say this. I say that everybody in the world has the capacity to find a need greater than their own needs and serve those needs. And if everyone were to wake up, if I wake up every day and I try to find somebody with a need greater than mine and I serve that need, I'm never going to be a lonely man. I'm never going to be an unhappy man. I'm going to be a very blessed man with a very full life.
Yep. Yep. I feel like we get so much back when we give, right? It's almost like a selfish thing. Because when you give out of your heart and out of your abundance, you get this amazing feeling back. It's just like the connection to the bigger purpose, the bigger source. And you realize we're all one we're in this together, and we're here to feed of each other and build each other up so we can become our best versions, even where they're at, right? Because
Right.
who are we to judge how other people live in different communities and different cultures? They could be perfect right where they're at, but by giving our gift to them, they definitely is an enhancement of both souls. And I
Right.
feel that it's just such a terrific interchange that happens when you go on a mission trip. It happens everywhere, but you notice it that much more clearly on a mission trip, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely true. And I know that we wanted to talk about the extension of what I do with our charity. You know, I'm
Mm-hmm.
the director for a charity called Dreamweaver International. And our mission statement is we help the needy become needed. Help the needy become needed. Because I feel like a lot of the problems that are in the world based on the fact that people are viewed as needy. And no one is really truly needy. Everybody's needed for something. We're needed in our offices. We're needed in our families. And the people we go and serve are needed as well. And sometimes we're just helping to reveal a new level of need for them, that they're needed. And when we address those challenges with, does this program help needy people become needed, then we can address true change, true social change. And in the Dominican Republic, they have a lot of vehicles to help move themselves out of poverty. One of them happens to be sports. And a lot of people that are listening may not know that in Major League Baseball, 1 in 7 athletes is a Dominican-born athlete that plays Major League Baseball. 1 in 7. And this tiny island of 10 million people is producing 1/7 of the talent for a major industry in the United States. And when those players are able to get professional contracts, it drives revenue into their economy. And that revenue into their economy helps move that economy closer to being out of poverty. Because ultimately, to me, when I lead a charity, I want to actually put myself out of business, because the goal of a great charity should be to put itself out of business because it's not needed anymore. In other words,
You
all I'm
solve the
doing is I'm going
problem, right?
solve the problem.
You
I'm going
solve the
to the
problem.
Dominican Republic. I'm having a cerveza with my friends there, and the problem's been solved. We're going as we don't do that in America. We don't take stuff to all of our friends' house and take all this extra stuff, and we feel like we're going there to solve their problems. Why? Because they don't have problems like they have in the DR. So part of the solution is helping them with sports. And chiropractors, my God, there is so much sports equipment in communities. When we did that a couple of years ago, we brought nearly 1,000 pounds of baseball equipment and sports equipment to Puerto Plata, right?
Yep.
And
we have the pictures.
And instead of donating it, we asked the coaches and the players to set up a play it against sports, basically, and to sell the equipment on the field at an affordable price that people there could afford. Because one baseball bat in the Dominican Republic cost a month's salary for a Dominican man or woman to buy it. 1 month. A pelota might be a day's wages. So while they love sports, they don't have access to it. It's too expensive. So on that day and that weekend, we solved a big problem for them, right? They needed a bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay? The mamas, the abuelas, grandmas, they had no place to go to the bathroom. The children were peeing on the wall. And Coach Lowley said, hey, could you help us with a bathroom? Yeah, sure, we could do that. How much is it? $1,700. They couldn't raise that in 30 years. But when we bought that sports equipment, they were able to sell it to their own community, and I turned around and gave them the money right back and said, here's your $1,700. Now go build your bathroom. They raised more money in 1 day than they raised in 30 years. That was chiropractors that provided that.
Yeah.
That was a lasting impression of the power of chiropractic to heal. So it doesn't just begin and end with the adjustment. It must begin and end with something that continues after we leave that is sustainable. Yes. And that's what I like about ChiroMission, is that we have a lot of good connections on that island, right?
Yeah, and that's why we love you, because we can see how we can make an bigger impact, than building an orphanage and then leaving homes behind and feeding families, and the work that we're doing with the kids in Haiti, which if you ever felt like sponsoring a child, please go to chiromission.com, sponsor there. And thank you to people that are watching. Say hi, thumbs up, share it to some people that don't know what mission trips are, they have misconceptions about what a mission trip is. We're just facilitating a way for you to give bigger and leave a bigger impact. Of course, it is amazing that you have your own missions. We all have a mission right here. I have a mission in my office, in my home, in my community, in everything I do is part of my mission. And when I do these mission trips, and the reason, just like Warren mentioned, why we keep going back is because we know we're making a bigger impact that is gonna last after we leave. And that is, I guess, the definition of legacy. That is what really deep down inside of us, all humans want to be, to leave a legacy, to be able to make a mark in this world so we can make others' lives better after we're gone, right? But
and if you think about our chiropractic forefathers and foremothers, B.J. Palmer, when he went around the world, he was a chiropractic missionary. He was adjusting people and helping people all over the world. He had a socially conscious mind about changing society. And it's much more than dealing with low back pain, neck pain, and headaches when we think of ourselves as social change engineers. So when someone asks me what I do, I'm a social change engineer. Yeah, I happen to be a chiropractor, and I'm very proud of it. But my job today is social change engineer. All right?
I love
and what does that mean? That means that I want to see the world in a way that I am going to make sure that I'm engineering change that's positive, change that's actually leaving a lasting impression, because someone says, oh, that'll never change. Everything changes. Rome was the greatest nation on the planet. Well, now we go there and we look at ruins, right? And we have to be aware, Greece was the greatest nation on the planet. Now we look at ruins. Everything changes. And so therefore, we are some of the greatest change agents in the world, chiropractors. But I also believe that we are part of aligning other healers. When I tell doctors and people that come to Africa with me, they all have different titles: MD, DO, DDS, RN, or no title at all, or DC, or whatever it is, or no title. I always tell them, take the title off of the back of your name, whatever it is, DC, RN, DDS, MD, and put DMS. And they go, why? I said, doesn't mean shit. These people don't care what your title is. They care, can you help me?
Yes, that's so true.
And so therefore, we need to look at ourselves as healers. You're a healer, I'm a healer. People listening are presumably healers, but there are healers that don't have titles behind their names. There are naturally born healers. And if healers begin to step up, Jesus Christ was a healer. He wasn't a DC, an MD, a DO. He was JC, right? He healed, okay? And he taught his disciples who were fishermen how to heal, right? So
yes,
we cannot get fixated on titles. We need to be fixated on aligning and healing whatever the social issue is, whatever it is. And
I hear you. Yeah.
back pain and neck pain and all that, if people are hurting, they can't do work in their community. So we're going to help them to be more productive, right?
That's right. That's right. And it's funny how you mentioned that, because we have had so many different people on our mission trips, right? And people with titles and without titles and with huge titles and with none at all, and just volunteers, and everybody, including the volunteers, everybody's making a positive influence. Everybody's healing at their own level. Even children that have come on this mission trips, which a lot of people don't even know that we take children, and a lot of chiropractors and volunteers have brought their children. The children are healing when they interact with these other kids, when they give of themselves, of their heart, of their goods, because we have had so many kids take off their brand new shoes and give them to these kids that have nothing, right? So are we making an impact? Those kids are never going to forget that act of kindness from a child, it's just such an amazing gift that you can give your family and your loved ones, to have this kind of experience, not only for yourself, but for the impact that you're going to leave in the world right up, way past the time you have come back.
Well, and I believe, just like we train, in the Bible says, train up a child like he should go and he won't depart, right? Well, we train compassion. And when we introduce compassion early and often and continue, I guarantee you're not going to have a selfish-centered child as they become a young man or young woman that is thinking more about me instead of we. It just doesn't happen. And surprisingly enough, a lot of the folks that we come in contact with in DR are very much we people. But the only time that they need to go to the me people is when they're living in scarcity. Scarcity drives me over we. And unfortunately, a lot of Americans, we think about scarcity when, my God, if you go out and get in an automobile, more than half of the planet will never, ever have a chance to ever even get in an automobile, let alone own one. If you have a television, a phone, just basic things, a refrigerator.
Running water.
Running water. Okay? And this is not to make people go, oh, this is one of those guilt trips. No, it's about reality check. It's about reality check and feeling blessed, because I guarantee you, when you sit in your report of findings feeling a blessed chiropractor, your patients pick it up. People want to go see someone who resonates and emanates light, blessing, gratefulness, all of the above, versus somebody who is critical, angered, feeling resentful, feeling like they got a short stick.
Yep.
That's not who patients are drawn to. That's not a magnet.
Yeah. No. You got to transform yourself in order to transform others. It starts with you, that person in the mirror, right? I feel like, definitely Mission Trip has been something that has transformed me. And hence I'm so grateful to it and grateful to the experience that I'm still doing this after 10 years and the opportunity to be able to bless others by facilitating these trips and all the people we touch or talk or I hear because I speak the language in the DR, so it's so easy. But we sometimes, take it for granted the impact that we're making even when we're doing a report of findings in our office, and that we have to check ourselves in order to make a positive impact on those and those people know. And that's how we change societies. That's how we change the world, and that's how we change the violence. That's how we change everything. Starts with you, for sure, for sure, for sure. So thank you for bringing that up, because that is very, very, very wise. So now we're getting to the end of it. So I want to ask you, what would you say to people that have never experienced a mission trip? Or what would you say to the audience here about chiropractic, about mission work? What would you want to say that if you had the opportunity to impact them with your best gift, what would you want to say so they can remember or they can shift? Because that's what I'm looking with this kind of talks. I want people to shift their perception into what's possible and what could be. And hence I bring all these people just to speak about their experiences, because that's how you shift. Something you say will shift the lives of others. And so what would you say to them?
Well, I just want to share briefly, and it only take about 2 minutes to share this story. The thing that shifted me the most the first time I went to the DR was when I was having lunch with a group of chiropractic students who I was helping mentor there in this little village where the electricity was going off several times a day. And it happened to be a time where it had just gone off. And a man came and searched us out because he heard we were there. Come and see my mother, my grandmother. And this large woman was sitting in a chair in a very small house that was no bigger than maybe 10 by 10. And there were 3 generations of people living there. And she had not been getting up from that chair. She couldn't move. She couldn't see a doctor. They didn't have any money. Her legs were swollen. Please help her. And I just looked at the chiropractic students and I said, I don't really know what to do. She's got pitting edema. I think she's got a heart condition, et cetera, et cetera. And she looked at me with tears in her eyes and said, please help me. And all I could think to do was I went down and put my hands on her legs and started rubbing that edema out and worked my way up to her neck, adjusted her, got her moving her feet. And her grandchildren were also tearing up as they saw her moving. And I realized how much love this family had for their grandmother. And I learned something about love. I've never had that kind of love in my life. They taught me how much a family can love. And at the same time, I gave them hope and an opportunity, and I taught them how to take care of their grandmother after I left. And I realized at that moment that was one of those unacceptable things that I don't want to see or have to see. And so I want to get as many of those out of the way as possible. But I would say to anybody, you need to go and experience something that's unacceptable to you, that really hurts your heart, so that you will become a changed human being. Because if you see something that hurts your heart deeply, I guarantee you're going to be a better person. And God is going to be smiling down on you when you let your heart get broken for what's breaking his heart. That was a heartbreaking moment, but that family and the way they loved her and how much joy they had when she started moving better was profound. And that was a chiropractor and a group of chiropractors who brought hope into that little home in the Dominican Republic. And they brought hope to me. And I've learned that time and time again. I always ask God to reveal to me something you want me to see that's going to make me a better man. So we all can be better men and women. And this is the opportunity to let all the guard down and to just become a better man or a better woman, so you can be a better husband, a better father, a better wife, a better sister, a better brother, whatever it is, a better doctor. And your adjusting is going to get way better too. You'll become a way better adjuster. There's no question about that. So I would just say, come so that you can find something that's going to break your heart, that you find unacceptable. And then you'll go back and you'll find far more things that are unacceptable. But I believe that you'll become a change agent and you'll want to change it. Because I certainly have. I can never go back to being the small, self-centered person I was before. Never can go back to being that guy again.
God, I love that. I mean, I love that you took me back to so many moments in which our hearts are changed indeed. And we are just frozen and transformed at the same time. And yes, we act out of love because at that point, so many situations we have been encountering. I'm sure that's just one of them that we just don't even know what to do at that point. You're like, you don't know, you know? So you do what you know, which is love. And
love
that's what
and heal by hands. And I'm telling
heal
you,
by
this
hands,
lady,
indeed.
the edema in within 45 minutes was 30 to 50% less. She was smiling and she was actually believing she could get up from that chair, and the family was in tears. I mean, that's a miracle. And you know, but the beauty was they showed me a kind of love that is so profound. I mean, my kids all live in 3 different areas. I would love to have all 3 of my kids putting their hands on my shoulders or having that multi-generational love experience. That is rather remarkable. It's all over the DR, multi-generational love experiences in families. Just to see
Wow.
that alone is golden. I see it in Kenya. They put their hands all over the older men and women, and they just want to embrace them. They want the blessing. They want to get a blessing from that older man or woman. This is my grandfather. This is my grandmother. Oh, I'm so proud of her. We don't do that very well here in America. Not at all.
No,
But we
that
can
is
do
true.
better.
We are
I can do
missing
better.
that multi-generation. We have it. Obviously, I'm Latin, and so we have it. You know, most Latin people tend to live with your parents and grandparents, and you respect them no matter what they say or do. You know, you respect and value because they've been on this earth longer. But it's so true, and that example of love and community and connection and what you did for that woman, I'm sure she'll never forget, as well as many others that you have helped. So thank you so much for your service. Thank you so much for Gear for Goals. Thank you so much for what you've done in Africa. I want to thank you because yes, you are a life changer, social changer, whatever you want to call it. You are changing lives and impacting
Social
others.
change engineer. You are too, by
Social
the way,
change
sister.
engineer. I love that. Love that.
Doctor
Social
of
change
social
engineer.
change.
Oh yeah, we are. I think we just change it all, socially and otherwise. But thank you for coming on this tactic.
Do you want to
Please.
tell people to do sports equipment?
Yes. I want us. We are going on. Yes, thank you. I have to start serving here very soon. I want you to put below also your links for Gear for Goals. We are going on a September trip to the Dominican Republic. And yes, we're inviting you to come be an engineer of social change. Come with us and bring sports equipment so you can see the blessing that you can cause in other people's for lifetimes to come, because if they can change their lives through sports as well as you give them that amazing adjustment to connect them back to source, then you are changing the lives not only of themselves, of their family, their loved ones, and many, and it ripples. The ripple effect just keeps on going, which is what we're here for as engineers of social change. I love that. So please, yes. So that's how. What else can they do to gather equipment? They can do it through their offices, through their communities.
Through
They
their
can do it through.
office, church, any club, any
Mhm.
sports group, any sports organization that their kids are involved in. There is millions of dollars of sports equipment that's not being used. Every year in this country, $7 billion worth of sports equipment is sold. And so much of it's going in garbage dumps when it could be helping children. So if they want any support in doing it, they can contact me and I'll give them some cues on it. They can also get a lot of good PR out of it. It's great public relations. So it's a win-win.
Indeed. Win,
Would you
win,
like
win,
to
win, win.
Would you like to conclude with a prayer? I'd love to pray with you, dear, on this.
Please. Bring it on. I'm
God, I
open.
want to pray with my sister Auda. Thank you for all of her good work, her hard work, and the challenges that lie ahead in the DR and other areas are areas that we can address those challenges. So I pray, God, that on this trip, we will have so many doctors and volunteers that want to come and actually want to address those challenges, but also, more importantly, find a way to continue helping in that area and going back to their own communities and being raised to a new level as a leader, to take on what's acceptable to them, to not talk about it, to begin to act on it. So I pray, God, that you'll touch the hearts of those who can serve to go and serve. Thank you for this time. In your name, Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen. I love that. Oh, that's a first. I got chills. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you. You know,
Well,
I love you from
love
my
you too,
heart to
dear.
yours.
You
Thank
are
you.
a fellow sister, agent of social change. Okay.
Agent, engineer, maker,
Social
transformer.
change
I love it. I
engineer.
love it. I love it. Okay. Thank you, Warren. Please
All
put your
right,
links
dear.
below this video. I will put also the ChiroMission link so you can register and join us.
Take care,
Ciao.
dear. Be well. Bye-bye.
Bye.